Good evening, Marines, sailors, and associate members. My name is Mike Martioski, and I am your Department Adjutant / Paymaster. Welcome to what I hope is going to become a series on informational stuff such as getting to know your officers and appointees. Not only will it be that, but I'm hoping that we'll also be able to cover things like your detachments and interesting anecdotes within your coverage and within the state of New Hampshire. So let's get started. Like I said, my name is Mike Martioski. I am your Department Adjutant / Paymaster. Holy crap, that's a lot of steam coming off of this really cool cup. Having a cup of half calf while I talk with you because it's 7:15 at night. Yeah, that's hot. All right, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'm going to answer one of those questions, a self-imposed question, I guess you can call it. I'm messing around with my laptop here because my camera isn't centered. There we go. I just realized that I had to adjust my portable camera to get a straight-on shot. Anyway, so I served in the Marine Corps from 2000 to 2004, and as such got to enjoy a little bit of fun over in the sandbox without the ocean. I'm talking about Iraq, of course. It was hot, it was sweaty, people were trying to shoot at us. I was a member of 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines. I was in 0341. I'm talking about it in past tense because obviously I don't have a mortar system here, and I am not currently attached to Lima Company, 3rd Battalion, 5th Marines, Weapons Platoon, Mortar Section, 61s to be exact. Wow, 60s. My goodness. I don't know why I said 61s. Anyway, I was recruited into the Marine Corps League about 18 months ago. Let me think. In September, August of 23, I guess you could call it. Was it 22? I don't know. It was about 18 months ago. So I reached out to a friend of mine who I served with, who was a commandant of his local detachment. He posted a video and a couple of pictures, and I said, "What is that? And how do I get to be part of it?" And he said, "Oh, it's the Marine Corps League. Let me tell you a little bit about it." And he did. And then I did a Google search, and I got hooked up with Granite State Detachment 542 here in Manchester, where I live. I was with them for a while, and I changed detachments, and now I am part of Dillon Detachment out of Bow. More coffee. And I was recruited into my current role by our department commandant, Cody Dumont. And the way he got me into it was actually kind of funny. He said, "Look, I need an adjutant and a paymaster. Are you interested?" And I said, no, I'm not. And he said, "Well, I need help with paperwork, and you get to be the guy who tells other detachments what to do regarding their paperwork." And he specifically hit on Granite State Detachment 542. He said, "You get to be the guy that tells those folks the paperwork that I need, and you get to get on them about it." And I said, okay, I guess I can be the paperwork Nazi, so to speak. That's such a terrible term, but that's how I got recruited in. And to be honest, I absolutely love what I'm doing because it gives me a chance to not only see the inner workings of the department, but I get a chance to see how our detachments are faring as far as recruiting, as far as notices of death, as far as dues are concerned, stuff like that. Totally thought I was going to sneeze, did not sneeze. Now, I realized when I started doing this that I actually kind of like this. I like seeing the paperwork. I like seeing from a distance how the detachments are doing. And one of my goals is to get to a detachment meeting for every detachment in our state and to sit in and observe. So, that being said, I would like to pose a question, and that is, how can we make our department better? And the answer to that, well, first off, there are a numerous amount of answers. But one of them that springs to mind, for me anyway, I don't want to call it collaboration, and I don't want to call it cooperation, and I don't want to call it membership versus participation. In my opinion, the way we make our department better is to be Marines, to be sailors, and for our associate members to associate with both of those. Okay? So how do we do that? Well, I'll give you an example. I had a fundraiser back in December, and a fellow member of the Dillon detachment went down and did it with me. It was great. And the whole time we were down there, we didn't discuss, even in the events leading up to it and our joint training sessions, we didn't discuss department or detachment business. We talked about each other. I went to this guy's house and he helped me organize parts of a website that became the Dillon Detachment homepage. But while we were there, even though we were doing detachment stuff, we talked about each other, our lives. I got to know his cats, Gin and Tonic. Great cats. I met his wife. Wonderful woman. Okay? That's stuff that we did as Marines. I can count the amount of times on one hand that when I was involved in something while I was in the Marine Corps that it didn't revolve around family. What I mean by that is every time I was with Marines that were part of my unit while I was in, sorry, my cat got my attention, while I was in, it was almost never did it revolve around individuals, families, or friends, or what we like to do together. My cat's down here. So that, in my opinion, is how we make the Marine Corps League, specifically in our department, better. We talk to each other. We revisit what it meant. Sorry, I'm moving stuff around because in a minute my cat's going to want to jump up here and I got to make room. But getting back to what it is to be Marines, how we organized ourselves, what we did when we were in the Marine Corps, or for you sailors, what you did while you were in the Navy. Now, I recognize that not all of our sailors were part of grunt units as corpsmen and chaplains. I recognize that there was a broader section there, but I'm focusing on that. What did you guys do with your Marines when you weren't doing Marine Corps stuff or Navy stuff or, chaps? What did you guys do? The answer to that is pretty simple. You got to know each other on a personal level. And how did you do that? You went and hung out with each other's families. You went to cool events. You became part of individual Marines' lives or individual sailors' lives. And I'll give you an example. One day when I was a very young Lance Coconut, it's actually kind of stupid, but actually I was a PFC. There was another Marine who enjoyed knocking back with a few beers. And I told this guy, I said, Winters, his name is Winters, Charles Winters. I said, I'm going to keep up with you drink for drink, until one of us taps out and he said, "That is a really stupid idea." And I said, "Yeah, but it sounds like fun." So we each got the drinks that we decided we wanted to drink. And every time he drank a beer, I drank a beer. And every time he did a shot, I did a shot. It ended horribly. I was leaned over the balcony from the third deck making street pizza. I'll let you guys imagine what that would be like. And I lost. Like, I was unconscious. But in that time, while we were doing this, we were doing something stupid together. Learning about each other. Talking about each other's families. What each other enjoys doing. Another time, we had one of those really neat opportunities where, as a platoon, we went to SeaWorld and then we went to Hooters. So we enjoyed time together. Now let me circle that back around. In our current department within the state of New Hampshire, and I would go so far as to say this was mass spread, we don't do that. Except for a couple of people in general, we don't do that. So I'll give you an example of one of those things that we can do to make the Marine Corps League better. Visit with each other. Go out and do stuff together that's not Marine Corps League related and just build those bonds. And how does that make the Marine Corps League better? Well, it allows you to tell other Marines and other sailors about your current adventures. Now, I don't know about you guys that are watching this video, but me personally, one of my favorite things to hear about, and pardon the language, is doing dumb shit. Okay? Having these fucking adventures. Yes, I swore. I call them sentence enhancers. But having these fucking adventures is wonderful. Now, it's not going to... Well, I mean, it could be. But it's not necessarily going to be going to the bar and drinking and having a grand old time and going shot for shot and beer for beer, you know, until you do something dumb like pass out or throw up or run from the cops. I'm not talking about the PFC bullshit, okay? I'm talking about getting together with a couple of folks and going to their house. Okay, so here's an example. I like to use that term a lot. Example. I have this thing called Football Sunday at my house, and what happens here stays here. But I put a couple of TVs outside. It's potluck, so there's a crap ton of food. All right, and we watch football from 9 a.m. until the very last game is completed on that Sunday. And is it Marine Corps League related? Hell no. It's me and a whole bunch of friends of mine, and I invite Marines and I invite sailors, and we just kick it. We have a grand old time. We drink. Some of us will light up a cigarette without judgment. Some of us will have cigars. Okay? Some of us will enjoy each other's company differently in that environment. Some of us are just like, fuck it, we're just going to have a good time. But some of us get to know each other on an intimate level. That's what I'm talking about. Having fun with each other outside the constructs of a meeting. Getting to know each other on an intimate and personal level. Being Marines. Being sailors. Okay? That's how we make the Marine Corps League better. And if you're an associate member and you don't necessarily understand how Marines get down, tag along to a freaking event where we have fun. I can think of one pair of people right now. She is a Marine. He is a soldier. Okay? But he still does things with his Marine wife and understands how we have fun. We're not seeing a lot of that. So, creating events, attending events together, and I don't mean on our calendar, on our page, on our home page, where it says, here's a perfect, for instance, in the summertime, going to these elaborate events. So St. Patty's Day is coming up, the St. Patrick's Day Parade. Go march in that thing. And then afterwards, go hang out, warm up. But don't talk about Marine Corps League stuff. Talk about personal stuff. And then allow that conversation and that adventure to organically inspire other people. If I got a friend that I would like to have join the Marine Corps League, and I've actually got one. I've got two. One of them's my son. My selling point should not be we're an organization of like-minded idiots that hang around and go to meetings. My selling point should be, hey, remember when you were a young PFC and you and your buddies got together and did something fun or something dumb and it turned into something fun and now you've got a cool adventure story to pitch to your buddies? That's what I think a selling point should be to try to make the Marine Corps League better, at least within our department and our detachments. Division-wide, you can expand on that circle. And our department commandant, Cody, likes to talk about that a little bit. And he likes to talk about the how versus the what and the actions that are taken. This is just a neat little starting point. Hang out with your brothers and sisters. So I'm hoping that this will lead to... I'm hoping that this video will lead to others and we can develop a series and then people can go and come on and check it out and decide whether they like it or don't like it. Leave comments, stuff like that. Yeah, that's going to be it for getting to know your Adjutant Paymaster at the moment. You guys have an awesome night. Semper Fi, and I'll talk to you soon.